Yeah. Okay, nice. Oh, by the way, Brian, I'm going to be streaming now, so yeah. Just telling you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, Brianna. I would like to, yes, because if I don't, then it would just look like I'm talking to myself the entire time, and if I wanted that, I would just leave the party and stream by myself. Okay, let me just check really quickly. Okay, yeah, I heard you say so you are now part of the stream. Huzzah.
Well, the taste test of snap is concluded.
Alright. So I already have all the glitching remains here, here, and here. Final one is the school level. So hello guys, I am back, and as you can see I have Brandon with me, because, yeah, just want to add a bit of spice to this little thing. We're just, since I'm kind of playing this game casually just to find all the secrets, you can just kind of be here, since it won't really spoil anything,
We're like
story-wise.
we're like the surprise two for one deal with like Chick-fil-A where you get a spicy chicken sandwich. That's what we're doing today. Cake for the normal
Also,
shit that you're getting. Wait, am I allowed to? Am I allowed to curse on Twitch? Is that allowed?
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, you're allowed to curse. You just can't.
Okay.
Brandon,
I can't shout
Twitch is weird, dude.
at the top of my lungs like I can in YouTube.
No, you can't insult somebody with the word simp. That's something that Twitch did.
Well, now you're gonna have to cut that out because you said it. Now you're gonna
No, I didn't say it in an insulting manner. I was saying it as an example. Okay, there's a difference.
Oh, okay. Yeah, totally. 100%. That really
Not to mention, there's literally 0 people watching this, Brandon. I don't think anybody's gonna get so offended by a small-time streamer and then just be like, oh, oh, and then they just melt into a puddle of ooze right after they report me to Twitch.
That's another thing. I'm actually gonna provide some useful commentary for once and bring something to the table. Sorry, my throat got really dry there for a hot second. Why do people hate the word simp or being labeled as one? Because I'll have you know, like, prehistoric knights, like, fantasy genre knights, who would basically risk tooth and nail just to save a princess, technically, by definition, they were simps, but they're also highly respected.
Yeah. I mean, for those guys, they actually went on a quest and, like, fought monsters and stuff. For people on Twitch, they just kind of give half their income to female streamers because, hot, nosebleed.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though, but if someone calls you a simp, like, they're trying to insult you. Like what I always do, I always just say I'm not one of those, but if I was, I could turn that insult into a compliment really fast. Like, just diffuse the situation. Like, don't like, just be so like, if someone, like, that's my secret to making anybody super angry, is if someone insults you, all you have to do is very calmly say, no. And then, like, not engage, and what are they gonna do? What do they do at that point? If you just don't encourage them, then it's not gonna be fun for them, and they're gonna get upset. And then you laugh at them.
Wasn't there one person that you somehow made them super, super angry, and you don't even know how you did that?
You're gonna have to regale me with that story that I told you, because there's many situations in my life where I've done exactly those things.
Oh, I think, wasn't it Madison's mom? Like, you somehow made Madison's mom, like, super untrustworthy of you? I don't know, maybe? All I know is that you
made her mad indirectly before.
All I
from
remember
doing
is
that.
that you told me how there was somebody that you met that you barely knew, but you somehow angered them tremendously, and you told me how you wished you knew how you made them that angry because you would want to use that again against anybody else. Oh yeah, glitching remain.
Again, that's
Here we
been
go.
so many people in my life. I think Madison's mom is definitely one of those people, but I don't think that's the one you're referring to specifically. But no,
Probably not.
I'm talking about like if someone calls you a simp, just think about it from the point of, well, technically they may be calling me a knight, and knights are badasses, so that's cool. But if you don't want to look at it from a positive angle, then you can just simply say, no, I'm not, and you have no proof that I would be. And like if you don't say it aggravated, you just say it with the most dead tone thing, then I assure you it'll get anybody upset. If you just keep pulling an Uno reverse card and saying no you, then you're gonna get to the point where you annoy them. And then the tables have turned. But yeah, when you guys call me some, I always just go, no, I'm not.
I don't call you
You're
simp.
using it incorrectly. I always just look at it from the label of, no, you're labeling me incorrectly, and also you sound dumb. So maybe don't do that for your own, for your own title. I don't know. That's how I look at it. There's always a way to spin an insult back onto somebody. That's like one of my life mottos. There's always a way to spin an insult back onto someone else. Most
Yeah.
notably the person that insulted you. So the I slapped a god person, like he was just he was
It was
getting
I spanked a
clapped.
god.
Yeah, I think it was I spanked a god. I don't know. It's something like
I
that. Something
remember it was I
close.
spanked a god because the name
Yeah.
itself was it's just ingrained in my memory because his personality was just so unique, I would say. Like,
I
even
think
though that
unique is
dude
the
was
only way you could
suspicious,
have put that without insulting him. Like that's the
just
only
I'm just
way
gonna be
you could have
completely
put that.
honest. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you, Brandon, okay? Like,
Hmm.
he seemed like a very suspicious person, but the 5 minutes of contact that I had with him, it just made me want to know his life story, okay? That's all I'm saying.
See, that's the thing. He was suspicious from the beginning, and at first I was just playing mad pranks on him, Like I was just talking mad smack. But as the conversation developed, me and Evan actually grew realistically suspicious of this man and his intentions. It went from being a joke, like haha, we suspect you of being, weird. But then as the conversation developed, we were like, hold on a minute. Is this guy
Oh yeah, I
actually
found another
weird?
glitching vein.
You know what I mean?
Another mineral over here.
We got anyways, as I was saying, for all you that get called simps by other people who are fucking sheeple and can't find a good insult, yeah, just think of it like that. Or, just look at them and say, wow, way to follow the crowd, sheep, and then
Oh hey, hey
look at them
Brandon.
disfavorably, I guess, I don't know.
So for Little Nightmares 2, there's actually collectible hats, and I think one of the hats you can get is a dunce hat, because one of the levels in this game is a school.
Dunce cap.
Yeah. Alright, so I think there's 6 secrets in this level specifically. There is one that I found, I think on a railing somewhere, and I just found my second one, so yeah, I have 3 more secrets to find.
Yeah, I've never understood. I've never understood
A lot of things.
Okay, yes, that is true. But specifically, I've never understood the process. Ow. How the? Okay, I don't know how that person killed me. I've never understood the need to acquire more knowledge in life than what you want to do. What's the point of storing knowledge you have no need for? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I can see there being multiple reasons why. Yep.
Yeah, I could learn how to, put people into space, but I don't ever plan on doing that, so why would I learn it? Seems like a waste of my and quite frankly other people's time. If I had to
Yeah,
be 100% honest.
all I could really say is if people find enjoyment from learning, or I don't know, because different people they have different tastes in life.
I'm a communist. I don't believe in that.
uh,
I believe
yeah.
that everybody is happy farming potatoes. And other potato. Well,
Yes, you
corn.
can just do that.
People really love corn. Dude, can we talk about corn? Corn is great.
I don't really like corn if it's popped.
You don't like corn naturally?
No, not really. To be honest, I've never even really tried corn on the cob.
Ever eat corn like out of a can?
I mean, yeah, that's like I don't eat corn all that much. When I do have corn, we just have canned corn.
Alright, well, that's
It's not that I
basically
haven't
corn
been
on the cob.
given. Yeah, it's not like I've never been given the option to eat corn on the cob. It's just it just never looked too appealing for me, I would say.
Yeah, you strike me as the guy that's willing to slob on the cob. That's
Yeah, like I said, I'm more of a fruit person rather than a vegetable person. I enjoy things like apples, oranges, pineapples, things like that. Vegetables aren't
I'm a
really my cup
berry
of
man
tea.
myself. You know,
Yeah.
part of the reason I like berries is like, again, I'm gonna get real serious for a hot second. If you think about it, right? Like, put it in your brain, the image of a berry.
Mhm.
And you're like,
Right.
berries are distinctly flavored, right? Like, they are highly flavored. Like, when you eat a berry, that thing has flavor. Bursting with flavor, in fact. Right?
Yeah.
Alright. Now, what makes berries so juicy and flavorful is the water that's trapped inside of them. So if you think about it, berries are like one of the only natural ways to get flavored water straight from a plant. Along with other...
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, number one, a berry not only fulfills your, well, I mean, that doesn't fulfill all your, dietary needs, but it's a great way to avoid starving and both dehydration. Because you get enough of those berries, you'll get your daily water intake.
Yeah.
And it'll be flavored water, so it tastes better than normal water. And the water is, I mean, of course, drinkable because you can eat the berries, so, it's a great way to get pure water into your system. That is also flavored.
Alright, so this is where... Yeah. Yeah. You ain't tricking me this time. I wonder if any of these lockers open. Oh, there's totally a hat in one of these lockers. There is totally a hat in one of these lockers.
You know, I really like elderberries. I don't know if you've ever had elderberry jam, but that stuff is great.
No, the only jelly I've really had in my life is grape jelly. You know what? I'm satisfied with it.
I would say elderberries kind of like grape, but it's not. It's not, but like at the same time, it's comparable to.
Yeah.
I'm more of a fan of like elderberry and blackberry than I am grape. Elderberry is kind of what I would preference over blackberry. A little bit, not by a whole lot. Kind of like a small market. Like,
Ooh.
if you have the option of both, blackberry and elderberry, I recommend you put
Is that a slingshot?
both of those suckers on a single piece of toast. Go like half and
I
half.
can't even pick this up.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I I don't know if you've ever eaten an elderberry straight, but let me tell you, those
Never
things
even
have
heard
a
of an
lot of
elderberry,
seeds.
to be honest with you.
Sorry, blackberry. Blackberry. I don't think you should eat wild elderberries. I think they're poisonous. And you have to cook them right, I think is the thing. But no, like wild blackberries, they are just packed with seeds. It kind of ruins
All
the
I remember
texture
is
a
that,
bit.
like,
It's grainy, like sand.
all I remember is that, like, a survival tip for... Ooh. Like, if you're ever out in the wild, like, a good survival tip is, if you find wild berries and you don't know if they're poisonous or not, rub them on your skin, and if you get, like, a rash from that, don't eat the berries.
That works in some, but not. That is not a catch.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
But it's I wouldn't recommend that being your only test.
Yeah.
Also, if you're not sure,
Oh,
I would
wait,
say it's probably best not to eat them because, like, kind of like mushrooms, like most wild berries are poisonous just inherently. I don't know the
Yeah.
berry ratio, but I believe the ratio of wild mushrooms that could kill you if ingested was like 84% or something like that, maybe more, maybe 94%.
Jeez.
Yeah, like there's a crazy amount of mushrooms that exist that you just aren't able to eat because they will kill you. There's like the Japanese purple luminescent mushroom that I forget the like the name of. But there's like this purple luminescent Japanese mushroom that would grow in caves or some shit like that. So I've heard.
Oh, that sounds
So I
dirty.
read on the internet. Yeah, dude, it's great. It gives off like a pinkish purple glow. But if cooked wrong or eaten raw, like it has to be cooked a certain way, or it'll actually kill you in a very odd fashion. And a very painful one too. With no cure.
Oh.
What it will do, Austin,
That sounds like
it'll actually
that sounds like a pufferfish. Like how people, like,
kind of
yeah, how do they die exactly? What's the weird yet horrific way that they perish?
get this. It takes their digestive system, you know, like how you consume things and then poop them out later.
Yeah.
It takes that whole digestive process and flips it.
Oh. Oh no.
It just flips it over. Most people online that I've read about who ate who ate mushrooms that weren't cooked properly or that were just raw in general, said that and this came mostly from the doctor's perspectives because you know they were busy like vomiting crap and bile and other stuff. But like most of the doctors said that the patients, since there was no cure and it wasn't a quick death, they actually opted to be shot in the head as opposed to dying from the mushroom itself. Like they would make the conscious decision if a gun were in the vicinity to, you know, and the experiment fast. And it's incredibly, like, it's fast acting too. Like it like the process happens a few hours after, you know,
Jeez.
after consumption.
Is,
So it's a very fast
has anybody ever
acting.
survived eating one of
No,
these things?
there is no person that has been immune or has had any. I don't remember if I read anything about like the longest lived, but I think the longest I've ever read about someone living was like 7 to 8 weeks. I don't know if that's the longest lived, but like I think that's the longest anybody's ever held out. You know, they didn't really feed these things to people on average to figure out how long it takes. But I think the longest that has ever been, you know, documented was like 7 to 8 weeks of, you know, just pure and utter torture. Like I said, most people didn't, you know, they weren't alive long enough to live out the whole mushroom thing because, you know, it was just that bad that they would rather have taken the easy way out. They're like, nah, I don't want this.
Yeah.
There's better ways. And, you know, I can't say I blame them, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just dude, mushrooms are no joke. If you don't know that a mushroom is good, don't eat it. Same with berries. Just go. You're better off just trying to find something you know is good because I mean. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of room for error, so to speak, when it comes to mushrooms and stuff. You know, you don't really have the option to just go back and try again with a lot of them. Like I said, the purple one, like it's not fast, but like, you know, very clearly you don't have the option to just go back and try again.
Yeah.
Only takes one. And I can say with certainty that people do like raise these mushrooms. Like they're only toxic if eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, if you're not eating them, then you're fine. People raise them like on windowsills supposedly, and they act like night lights.
Yeah, because you know, luminescence and everything.
Yeah, they give off like a nice purple tint of and I gotta be honest,
right
like, I think they're a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of horrifying to think how we know all the different ways that humans can die, but the only way you would know that is if, you know, examples were made, and not only that, but they had to be documented. So multiple examples, which are undocumented, were most likely made. Just there's so many ways to die in this world. Hey Brandon, did you ever watch that one show called like A Million Ways to Die?
I have.
I think it was like kind of
it's interesting to say the least.
I never really watched that show, but I just have this one part ingrained in my memory where. Ooh, is this another glitching remain? Hey, I was right. There would be one in the locker. Had a look at the little latch being on the... Yeah, but basically there was just this one moment where they had like one person driving a car and another person driving a car. And then, you know, they were sticking their heads out of the cars. I think these were like convertibles, so they didn't have roofs. So just had these two people which were driving cars right next to each other, basically kissing one another. And then all of a sudden both of their heads were just decapitated.
Oof.
I think I saw that when I was kind of young, and I was just like, well, I'm not going to forget that anytime soon. There could be a hat in here, actually. Is there a hat?
Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. It really do be like that. Happens. You're right though. There are plenty of ways to die. Most of them not very good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. I mean, they're like.
So I have 4 out of the 6 secrets for this level, so I have 2 more secrets to find.
I think on that like 1,000 Ways to Die show, or whatever you were talking about, whatever the name of it was.
A Million Ways to Die?
Million. I believe one of them I saw was like falling into a wood thing, like a wood.
Oh, wood chipper?
Yeah, wood chipper.
Ooh, yeah, that would be pretty gruesome. Just having your entire body just get grinded up into paste and flakes.
Yeah, that's a pretty. I don't know. Another maybe not necessarily like painful, I guess, but like one of the worst ways to die to people would be by getting stuck in a 1x1 area, like a 1 foot by 1 foot tunnel. That creeps a lot of people out.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Brandon, I'm not crazy enough to go cave exploring, much like you. At least in like the very constricted areas.
Yeah, even I have my limits. Like, number one, I don't think I'm gonna fit through a 1 foot by 1 like like a 1 foot diameter tunnel. I don't think I'm gonna fit through that. Like, I just don't think I'm gonna fit in the tunnel. And even if I could, I wouldn't do it because I'm not certain of my ability to get out. I would not be anywhere certain of my ability to crawl out if I could even crawl out.
Thing is, Brandon, I'm pretty sure so many people would be able to fit into that area. It's just whether they could get out is the real question.
See, I don't think I could, like, collapse my shoulders in enough to actually do that, though, is the thing. Like, if I could, it would be a really snug fit.
Yeah.
Like, so snug that I don't think I'd be getting out of it. Like, I'm just gonna say that for fact. Like, I don't think I'd be getting. I don't think I'd be getting out of there, even if I could manage to, like, kind of stuff myself in.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, most people couldn't get in there regardless. So yeah, you know, getting stuck in a tunnel like that's one of the worst ways to go.
No, I thought the teacher saw me for a second there.
I think Quicksand would just be boring, if I'm gonna be entirely honest. It just sounds like a really boring.
You think what would just be boring?
Quicksand.
Ah,
I know it can be escaped, but like I'm talking about in a
Oh,
situation
no.
where you couldn't escape it. Like that
How?
would be a slow way.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm just straight up dead.
Well, if someone broke your legs and your arms, and you were just like,
I'm not dead. I'm not dead.
that'd be bad.
I have no idea how I didn't die from that, but I am thankful. Ugh. Oh, my heart.
Being trapped in a haunted cave without a flashlight, that would be a pretty bad way to go.
I wonder if that hat is actually
most
something you
people.
can collect. What's that actual collectible hat?
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that video, Austin, of the dude like exploring the Paris catacombs without a guide, and like he eventually gets lost? And they never found his remains.
No, I have not.
You haven't seen that?
Yeah.
Long and short of it is, dude went into the Paris catacombs, and they could never find his remains. They found his camera, though.
Ah, so that's how people know about the story.
Yeah. They found his camera, which, showed him, like, just frantically running away from what a lot of superstitious people would say is something, and a lot of scientists would say is just enhanced fear of not being able to find your way out for, you know, a period of hours. And intense darkness, you know? Kind of fueling the... Because, like, you can hear sounds coming from, you know, everywhere, but again, they're catacombs laced with bones in the walls. And it's bound to be a few
this
noises.
is totally where you get the dunce hat.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
It's bound to happen. Though if there were ever a haunted place on Earth, the catacombs would probably definitely be that.
Yeah, most likely.
Like, just because of how many, like, you know, probably full-ass skeletons are down there. If there was a place that was haunted, the Paris catacombs would probably be that place.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, remember how I told you that there was... I was like, let me look at the hats really quickly. Because there's like a cone-shaped hat right here. It definitely looks like a dunce cap. And I'm in a room where there's like 5 dunce caps on this shelf. And I can't really get on top of the shelf, which disappoints me, because I thought I could probably get a hat from that.
You probably can get up there, you just don't know how. No.
Maybe. I'm more looking for like story-based unlockables, which is why I'm going for like some of the... I'm not really going for the hats, because they don't really have any story-based things related to them.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my headset off real quick.
By the way, did you ever No, okay. You're gonna blow your nose.
Alright.
Hello.
Okay, Austin, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
A little would you rather. Questions are optional if you choose to ask any.
Mm-hmm. Well, this
Would
is totally where a secret is.
Would you rather be faced with irrefutable proof that aliens existed or irrefutable proof that ghosts existed?
Ooh. I think I would say... ghosts.
No. Is there a reason you prefer ghosts over aliens?
Well, because with aliens, I suppose depending on the proof with, like, how much the aliens actually know about us, it would probably take a bit for us to actually understand their language, or for them to understand our language. But with ghosts, you know, they're already dead, so you could probably just, you can talk with them immediately.
Would you be more fearful of one or the other? Like, do you have a preference of which you think is more dangerous?
To be honest, it kind of depends, I would say, on how powerful ghosts can actually be in this world, and how advanced the aliens' technology is. Because both of those types of theories about, like, ghosts existing and aliens existing, there's varying details on how actually strong either of them can be. Because in, like, some instances, ghosts are only strong enough to, like, you know, like, pick up small objects and, you know, throw them across the room and everything. But then you have, like, other cases about there being full-on possession, or about, like, your soul being stolen and stuff. So that would be pretty terrifying, about having your soul stolen. And then you have, like, different alien stories about aliens being able to, like, travel the stars effortlessly. But then you also just have instances of them just, you know, just being standard in a way, like similar technology to humans. And, you know, of course, there's also the question about how malevolent the aliens are and how malevolent the ghosts are. Because you could always have, like, friendly aliens and friendly ghosts, but you could also have just, like, very harmful ghosts and aliens as well. I suppose another reason as to why I would want ghosts over aliens is because I feel like ghosts would be a bit more reliable, since they're just dead humans. So I feel like you could have that, like, I don't know, like that human connection between you and ghosts, both aliens, you're entirely different species. But you could also have that whole entire mentality about, like, you know, you're both sentient creatures, so you should you're both sentient creatures, so you should be able to just relate to one another in a way.
Well, that's dependent on whether they actually feel emotion or not. But yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I get.
The humans just feel more reliable in a way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would rather I'd much rather prefer to know that ghosts, like, for certain exist, just for the simple, like, well, I mean, like, yeah, that answers a little bit about the afterlife. That gives me some idea of what the afterlife is like. The afterlife is like, I guess, in it that I know becoming a ghost is possible. So, you know, it definitely opens the gateway to, like, well, now I know what happens after I die. So, well, to an extent. So, it could theoretically, like, I could kind of base what happens after that with the connections that I might be able to have with the ghosts, and I feel like ghosts, like you said, would be easier to communicate with, whether they be good or bad. I just feel like they'd be a lot easier to, talk to.
By the way, hey Brandon, did you ever watch Markiplier's playthrough of Little Nightmares, the first one, like you said you were planning on doing?
I did not yet, no.
Because I know I'm pretty sure you're not, like, too big on this story, so you're okay with me, like, spoiling some of the smaller stuff in this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's not really, like, a big story point for this game, because there is actually, like, a twist at the ending to this game that... There's actually multiple twists, now that I'm thinking about it, like a plethora of twists. Don't really want to spoil any of them, in case Markiplier ever makes a playthrough of Little Nightmares 2, which I'm pretty sure he will, because, I think the only complaint he had about the first game was the credits being too long, since he was basically moaning about him starving the entire ways through. But I'm pretty sure he, like, fairly enjoyed the first game.
I wanna go eat.
So I'm pretty sure he's gonna make a playthrough of Little Nightmares 2. I'm surprised he actually hasn't made one sooner, since the game has been out for about a week now.
Yeah,
but
broken foot thing to focus on.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, maybe he's already recorded it. He just hasn't. It just hasn't been released on his channel yet.
I think if you break your foot walking your dog, and you tell, like, a giant crowd of people that's something that you're gonna need a few days to, like, socially recover from, like, the embarrassment.
I mean, knowing Markiplier, I don't think he's going to get all that embarrassed, because, it is Markiplier after all. I'm pretty sure he's done far more embarrassing things.
You would expect him to at least be like, I gotta go into social exile for a few days because of the dumb decision I made. It's just a feeling of, I gotta take a day to reflect on this sort of thing, so I'm sure he's kind of kicking himself a little bit about that.
Yeah, but, so the main villain, I guess you could say quote-unquote main villain for the first game is called the Lady. And, hey, Erin's online, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so, like, she's called the Lady, and, surprising thing is, that's, like, Six's mom. That's the main character is called Six. It's the little girl in the raincoat. So that's her mom, and surprising thing is, we have no idea who Six's dad is, or, like, the lady's husband. All we know is Six and the lady. But in this game, Little Nightmares 2, you can actually find a room of, like, what appears to be... So you can find a room, and you can find the lady's picture, kind of, like, on a table, or, like, a nightstand. And there's, like, a newspaper, and, yeah, just kind of... I think it's, like, the husband's room. So, from what I can gather, like, we might have found the room that belongs to Six's dad. And it just kind of really freaked me out, because I wasn't expecting there to be such, like, a strong connection between this game and the first game. At least just, like, out of the blue. Because it's not, like, kind of forced in your face. It's just a, it's kind of like a side thing that you have to go out and find yourself. But it's really cool. I like it. I always like it when games, instead of, like, whenever they have secrets, I was talking about this in my last stream, but whenever they have secrets that they want people to find, they don't just, like, shove really small objects in, like, dark corners. They actually give, like, proper smaller areas that you have to discover yourself. Because it feels a lot more fulfilling that way, instead of you just randomly finding them out of pure luck, basically.
I get you.
So now that I'm thinking about it, there was a glitched remain up on this railing. I knew that there was a glitched remain. Oop, I fell. On, like, some type of staircase, so... I only have 2 more secrets to find, and... I know one of them's at the end of the level. I watched... So, a big fear about me collecting secrets about in this game, Brandon, is that there would be, like, a secret at the very end of the level. So I'd have to play through the entire level all over again to find it. So what I did for this level specifically was I looked to see where the last secret was at the very end of the level, like the very last secret. That way I would have a point to know like when to stop, so I wouldn't have to keep on going any further. It would just save me a bit of time, basically. And there is a secret at the very end of the level that won't be too difficult to get to. But it's just good to know that it's there, so that when I do make it to the end, I don't miss it and have to do all this all over again.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I cleaned my room. Public service announcement for all you people out there. You'll understand why it's a public service announcement in a minute. I was cleaning my room, Austin. There's portion of my, like, there was this corner of my room that I could just never clean. I could never get to it. I started moving stuff around and I was able to clean it. And, like,
nice.
I thought of, like, all the like, dirt, or not necessarily dirt, but, like, the dust bunnies and stuff that I was gonna pick up, and, like, the loose pieces of paper that were on the ground. And, like, I looked at it and went, I don't trust it. So I went and got a fly swatter, because, you know, my house has a past history. We've really cracked down on it. Like, they're pretty much around recluses anymore. But, you know, my house has a past history
really good to hear.
Having a recluse problem. And I was like,
yeah,
there's too much shit there for them to hide it. I don't trust it. You know, I had the gut feeling of, I'm gonna run into a spider. I'm gonna run into a spider. I know I'm gonna run into a spider. And I was like, I'm getting a fly swatter to move stuff around in front of me because I don't want to touch it with my bare hand. I'm too lazy to go get gloves. So I do that. I go get a fly swatter, and like as I'm cleaning up the last portion of dust bunnies, I go to pick up the last, I guess, cotton ball sized piece of dust, and right there, the tiniest little dang thing, little brown recluse looking at me. I grabbed the fly swatter and I was like, I knew it. That's why I grabbed this beforehand. I knew it, and like, trust your gut, people. That's all I can say. When you get a gut feeling, trust it. It's probably right. At least it's always been that way for me. Like, I knew it too. I knew it. I knew not to trust it. I had a funny freaking feeling, and you know, like, lo and fucking behold, it was true. Well, it was a baby, like, you know, which arguably the babies are more dangerous because they carry like 3 times as much poison as the adults, but you know.
Ah, for extra protection.
Yeah. So, yeah, so they don't die as fast. But I knew it, you know, like, I knew it. I had that funny feeling. I was like, I don't want to do this. I know there's going to be something there. That there, you know, like, the conditions are perfect that it would be a missed opportunity if there wasn't one there. And I was right. 100% right. There was indeed one there. It wasn't a big one like I thought there was going to be. Hiding under all the dust and whatnot, but, like, there was indeed one there. I knew it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Sometimes I feel bad for killing spiders because, again, they're not the worst insect to have an infestation of.
Yeah, you already made it clear that the worst insect for you would definitely be roaches.
Know, me and Austin have a past history of like dunking on insects based off of which ones we would rather have an infestation of. Spiders actually top of the list. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can live alongside spiders if the other options are ants and roaches, because I refuse to live with ants. You guys don't know, but I have a staunch, like, when it comes to ants, I am the most prejudiced person that could ever exist. There is no reason under any god, any spiritual power, under whatever religion that you believe in, that I will ever defend an ant for any reason, even if they are blatantly in the innocent pile. There is no circumstance, even where if they're truly innocent, that I will protect them or their rights. I'm in staunch defiance against having any sort of right to live. So I refuse to live with ants. It's just a moral belief of mine. But right beneath them is roaches. As much as I hate ants, I refuse even less, or even more, I guess, to live with roaches. And Austin, you can back me up on that one.
Yeah.
Like, I know you don't hate ants as much as I do, but you gotta admit, under like above anything else, roaches are the one thing that I can't live with.
Yeah, roaches are just gross. It's whenever you just see a roach, and then you're just like, haha, I'm gonna kill you, and then its wings pop out, and it's just defiant screaming afterwards.
And it's like, yeah, I get it. I know roaches aren't always like, oh, they can be clean, you can keep them as pets. No.
No, you can't dodge them.
No. No. Anybody who keeps roaches as pets is a fucking psychopath. Alright? That person is dangerous. 100%. Austin, you can back me up on it, right?
Dang it. Yeah. I bet they're the same people that eat mozzarella sticks without the marinara sauce.
Oh, you know it. No, they would.
Oh, dude, I'm sad because we recently ran out of mozzarella sticks. We got the marinara sauce, but we don't got the sticks.
I don't know. By the way, me and Austin are like religious in this one too. If you eat marinara sticks, if you eat cheese sticks without marinara sauce, you're a fucking psychopath.
What the heck happened there?
You're just a psychopath. Like, you have crossed a line that should never be crossed. I can't grasp why people would ever eat cheese sticks without marinara sauce. Like, are you really gonna tell me that eating a depressing deep-fried stick of cheese is easier than just going out to the store that's probably like 5 minutes away, picking up a jar of marinara sauce and bringing it home to eat? Like, are you really telling me sitting there and choking down cheese sticks with breaded deep-fried goodness around it is easier than just going out and buying some sauce to have it not be that bad?
You're making me hungry for cheese sticks. Thanks a lot, Brandon.
Dude, you're making me hungry for cheese. You brought them up.
Yeah, I brought them up. You're the one that's going into detail about them being breaded goodness with cheesy insides.
Because they are. They're deep-fried, breaded, cheesy, sticky goodness.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. It's just you're the one that's going into so much detail.
Because they are. They're golden brown hot takes. They're like fish sticks, but better. And pretty much everywhere. They're breaded, cheesy, hopefully if you're not a psychopath, saucy sticks gifted from the gods. Like, that shit is like the apex of what food can be.
I agree. I honestly do.
Not like all food, obviously, but like snack food, definitely. Like, there is no snack food classier than cheese sticks and marinara sauce. And I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. We're gonna enter an old-timey duel if you say otherwise. Like, grab your gun, friend, because we're gonna have a duel. There will be no peace treaty. I will send no second up to your second. We are having a duel. It'll be non-negotiable.
I think I finally figured out how I want to actually save my streams up, Brandon, for like future production. I'm gonna try and like save the entire stream, and then after I have saved up the entire stream, that's when I'm actually gonna devote it into smaller sections, but I'll be able to devote videos to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so I'll have the extra footage, but also the smaller sections for me to download for when I want to actually like make the videos themselves.
Yeah.
I really want I really want cheese sticks now.
Dude, I'll go to war over cheese sticks.
That's understandable. Ah, dang it.
I will go to literal war over it. Like I said, I'll have an old-timey duel. I'll have a pistols duel.
Dude, if I ever have like enough money for this, when I grow up, I just want to go to like a restaurant like 54th Street or something, you know? Just, you know, like a place where they sell like a bunch of good food, like burgers and stuff. And I just want to order like 60 cheese sticks. And that's all I'm going to order.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you Hamilton song listeners are out there, but to reference that song, that one song amongst all the others, if you eat cheese sticks without marinara sauce, I will send no second to you. You will receive no peace treaty negotiation. We are having a.
Oh, there's a hook right there. I'm dumb.
It is happening. Like at midday, 10 paces. Flintlock pistols. Like, it's happening. There's no alternative. And you know what? I think I'm, you know, Austin, you and me don't always agree on anything. Like we don't always agree on everything, I'll say. But I think you and me can at least agree that if someone has the audacity to eat cheese sticks in front of me without marinara sauce, and then not only say this is the right way to do it, but like actually be like, I will fight this battle, then I think you can agree that it's time for a pistol duel. It's the only it's the only solution. But there's no peace.
It's the only solution.
It's the like you.
No other way.
You have it. It's settled by duel. Like it's the only way it can be done. Like not even like a pistol duel where it's like, oh, you shoot them and then they surrender. No, it's to the death. And it has to be.
Of course.
There's no alternative. There's no like surrender option. Like it's aimed to kill. And I don't think that's an extreme either. I think that's an appropriate reaction to an appropriate problem. And I would say I wouldn't say much is an extreme for anything, but I would say that's definitely a necessity. Like it had to happen. There was no alternative. Because marinara. Well, here's the thing. Why would you want it without marinara sauce? Marinara sauce is just good.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Like, what would compel you to eat it without? I don't know what would like. I don't know why you would make that choice. Honestly, is the thing. I just don't see the. I don't see the appeal. I guess.
Yeah. This is by far the longest level in this game.
And, you know, it's I don't know. It's one of those things. I just don't see the appeal. Like, I don't want to see the appeal as well. Like, I don't even want to try and understand it. Like, I'm an insane man. Like, you know me, Austin. I'm a sociopath, 100%. Not even I'm that crazy.
Yeah.
I have my limits. I stopped trying to understand people on that barrier. I'm the man. I'm the kind of sociopath.
Oh, I'm getting a call from my mom. Hang on a second. I'm gonna mute myself. Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Hey.
So, yeah, my mom was just calling me to check up on me and Brianna and everything.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Since this level's so long, I'm just gonna see what the second to last secret for this level is. Just to make sure I don't skip it. Glitching remains 5. Ah. Yeah, I thought that door looked suspicious. Okay, I already missed one of the glitching remains, but since I'm past it, I'm just gonna go for the last one, and then I'm just gonna have to do the majority of this level all over again. What a shame. What a shame.
Big shame.
I'm thinking of ordering some takeout for my house. Yeah. I know you won't approve of the decision. I know you won't approve of the decision, but I'm in the mood for pizza, and since Pizza Hut's my favorite, I'm probably gonna go for that.
You're right, I don't. I mean, it's your life, do what you want, but I personally would not make that decision.
Yeah. I just like Pizza Hut.
I put
I
in
died there.
Stone and Red Baron, which not great.
Yeah.
I think it was Evan who said he didn't like DiGiorno, right? Which is
Yeah. That killed me.
Can we just can we talk about that for a minute? I'm sorry, what?
Oh, what? That killed me?
Again. Like, how do you not like DiGiorno? DiGiorno's like the best pizza right up there. And I know not a whole lot of people like it. I'm aware. I'm in the minority. But it is objectively the best.
I mean, when have you ever cared about being in the minority?
And never. But it's the best from
exactly.
Like Food Theory did a thing about pizza and which pizza place is the best. And I think you'll find that Little Caesars takes the gold. Especially if you're a starving college person who really wants cheap pizza. In which case, you go to
Oh, I did that too soon.
I don't know if you know this, Austin, but like all the jokes about Little Caesars being cheap cardboard pizza, it's not too far off the whole price thing of it being dirt cheap. But I would hesitate to say that it tastes like cardboard, because I would say that's more reserved for things like Tombstone and Red Baron.
Yeah, it's just for me personally. If I'm gonna have pizza, I want pizza that I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I'll be honest, I've never had honest, alright? I like ignoring bias, like ignoring personal bias. I have never had a bad Little Caesars pizza. Like I've never had something that was just objectively bad.
So you can't dodge these things.
Like even if you look at it from like a non-biased standpoint, I've never had a bad Little Caesars pizza. Like I've never had a problem with really sauce, cheese, dough. I've never had any like huge issues. And you know what? I'm just to show that I'm not looking at it from a biased standpoint. I have had, I will admit, a subpar, not the best, Little Caesars pizza, but it was not bad. It was subpar, and it was not the best, but it wasn't like, it didn't make me not want to eat it. Like, I was still willing to eat it. Happily eat it, mind you. It's just, it wasn't the best that it could have been. And, there's those, 5 out of 10 pretty much every restaurant. Pizza Hut probably has 5 out of 10s for people who actually enjoy Pizza Hut and think that it's capable of getting a 5 out of 10. That's fine. They probably have those. There's probably people who are like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. So, I'm willing to say that pretty much every place has that, and that's just I've only had one Little Caesars pizza that was not the best, but wasn't bad. And that's because it was left in the heater for a little too long, so it was a little more cooked than what it probably should have been. But I will say the dough is still pretty good. Like, it wasn't, the texture wasn't off. The only thing that was really, like, hurt by that, Austin, was the aesthetic of the cheese, which was a little bit darker than normal. I think you and I can both appreciate a good, a good cheese aesthetic. And I'll admit, that cheese lost a little bit of its luster, and it was a little bit more leathery, I would say, than what cheese should have been. But overall, I wouldn't say it was bad. Like, I wasn't deterred from it. I was still like, this still tastes the same, it's just the aesthetic has... The aesthetic and the texture a little bit has changed. But overall, the taste was unaffected. And at the end of the day, taste is what really matters. Which is a subjective thing, but it's what matters,
Yeah.
So I can say that, they're not... I'm not the kind of person that's biased, where it's like, oh, every pizza they've ever served is perfect beyond compare. I'll admit, there are some Little Caesars pizzas. I've had one in my life, so not many, but I have had one that could have been better. Just overall, it wasn't their best, but it still wasn't, like... Compare I guess you could say it was the worst one, even though it wasn't bad. Compare that to my, the best Tombstone pizza I've ever had. It's still top Tombstone at its best. Like, Little Caesars at its worst, from my experience, has toppled Tombstone at their best. So, there's that.
Me personally, it's just like Pizza Hut pizza. I don't even think it tastes... I don't know. I just think Pizza Hut pizza, I think I like it so much because of how much sauce is in it. Usually there's a lot of sauce in Pizza Hut pizza, which is why I enjoy it so much. But, the main reason I get Pizza Hut pizza is because I just find their cheese, like their stuffed crust. Stuffed crust is my absolute favorite. Because it's kind of like, you get your own cheese stick mixed in with, mixed in with pizza itself, and it's just like cheese sticks and... it's just like cheese sticks and pizza, and it's just like, that's just an amazing deal right there.
Yeah, for like a few more cents tackled on. It's not such a bad thing.
Yeah, but it's just like I would have to say that my favorite types of stuffed crust would have to be DiGiorno and Pizza Hut. Like, those are my two favorites.
I think we can both agree, out of anything, that one of the best experiences you and I have ever had was walking to Casey's, getting a pizza.
Dude, that pizza was so good. It was so fulfilling.
I think part of what made it so fulfilling is the journey that we went on. Like, as cheesy as that sounds, I think that was just I think that's just the heart of the matter, is that, like...
I love how... When we first got that pizza, you were like, I don't know if this is going to fulfill me, but you know what, it'll do. And then by the end, there was one slice left, and you're like, I'm gonna finish you.
I'm gonna finish you. Like an endgame boss that's, like, so bloated they can't even see straight, just, I'm gonna finish you. Well, yeah, because I didn't think they would pack it the way they did. I didn't think it'd be so, like, stuffed with material, Like,
yeah.
I was expecting it to be a little bit lighter, but no, like, it had been so long since I had a Casey's pizza that all I could remember was that it was thick. I did not remember how filling it was. Like, they didn't skip on anything. The dough, thick dough. Thick.
Yeah. Oh, hey, dude, by the way, I actually got, like... They have that one deal where you can buy, like, 2 large pizzas, and then you get, like, one of them half off. I actually did that deal a couple of days ago. Got, like, a large Casey's pizza for me and one for Brianna. And, then I just kind of added that on top of the pizza deal they got going on, where after you order 10 large pizzas, you get one for free. Just like, bro, that's amazing. So I have, like, 8 more pizzas to go.
Gas station food, why would you ever bother? And those people just clearly haven't tried Casey's pizza. Because yes, it may be made in a gas station, but that does not mean it's not good.
Yeah, to be honest, I have low standards, and you know what? Having low standards is cool, because that means you like more stuff. I enjoy cafeteria food, and I enjoy gas station food. There's
Here's
just
the
like
thing.
there's just greasy quality to it.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say that the pizza we got was very greasy. I'd say that it's less greasy than a pizza, to be honest with you. But I see what you mean.
Yeah, I know that's one of the main reasons you don't like Pizza Hut pizza. You just think it's a bit too greasy, which is
Less
fair, I suppose.
oiled and grease. But
Yeah.
it's like afterbirth levels of oil. I don't understand it. But like, yeah. Thick sauce, thick bread, thick dough, thick layer of cheese, thick meat. Like, that meat was thick. Everything about it was just so full, fulfilling. And we did a nice little daily jog to burn off some calories. So, what we burned, what we ate. And even then, we still, you and me still had to, fight to eat it all down. And I'll be honest, it was a good pizza. I'm not say it was the best pizza I've ever had, because I know the best pizza I've ever had. And, well, it's gonna seem biased, it was Little Caesars pizza. But it was just
I mean, everybody has their
Little
favorite
Caesars
brands.
pizza.
They just enjoy how certain pizza's made, and nothing wrong with that. I enjoy Pizza Hut. You enjoy Little Caesars. It's just how it is.
I'll admit, yeah, it was a Little Caesars. But when I say it was a Little Caesars, I mean, it excelled in literally every part of Little Caesars that I like. And I can't even say that, I like Little Caesars for any reason other than that it's just, good pizza. It's got a good sauce to cheese ratio, it's got a good cheese to dough ratio, and it's got a good, dough to sauce ratio. It's all homogenous, is the thing. They know what they're going for, and they can build it well. And,
No, Brandon, what's your favorite type of ingredient that they have the most of on a pizza? Because like I said before, I really enjoy it when pizza has, a large amount of sauce, and with, an acceptable amount of cheese. You go with it.
That's a tough question, because I like loading my pizza with different types of cheeses, the 4 cheese and the 6 cheese combo. It's loading up a lot of different types of cheeses if you get some of those toppings.
That's fair, because that's a large amount of cheese to... dang it. That's a good amount of... it's a variety, I would say. It's a variety of taste.
Yeah.
Variety of flavor.
But if you're talking about toppings that actually go on top of and or in the pizza, man, you can never go wrong with the Supreme. Just load all everything.
Yeah.
You'll never go wrong with a loaded Supreme. The mushrooms and everything else, the peppers, they add flavor. It becomes a big mixing pot. I think that's part of why people love pizza so much, is because, it's just a very customizable food.
Yeah.
I honestly, I can't say that I can't say that I'm too surprised that people like what they can customize, People like having choices. Because it makes every pizza different. And, I gotta be honest with you, I'm more than okay with, I don't wanna live a super luxurious life, I just wanna live a life where I can do things like go to Pizza Hut and not Pizza Hut. Almost
Go to Pizza Hut and burn it down.
Freudian slip. Go to any pizza place really. Any pizza place really. Any place other than Pizza Hut. Any other place. Any other place than that, and just pick up a pizza. And here's the thing: I'm not entirely against going to Pizza Hut and picking up a pizza with friends. I'm personally, I'm not going to partake very much, if at all. I might try it and see if it's okay, and then probably not eat it because, it's probably not going to be good, to me at least. But, I have no problem with going to Pizza Hut, and, maybe getting, a breadstick or something. I don't know if Pizza Hut even does breadsticks anymore.
One thing One thing I really did like about I think another thing I really enjoy about Pizza Hut is their pasta. That's another aspect about Pizza Hut I enjoy.
Do they still do like breadsticks and sauce like Little Caesars does?
I think so. Maybe.
I really hope so.
All right, Brandon. I'm almost done.
Oh my god.
I'm almost
Crazy
done
bread from
getting all
Little
these
Caesars?
secrets.
You can't go wrong with crazy bread.
I'm just gonna put this like here.
I don't know if you've ever had crazy bread from Little Caesars, but man, that's the stuff.
I don't. Maybe. I don't know. Because I just feel like a bunch of different pizza places actually sell like breadsticks or like crazy bread or
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. It's just kind of like becomes standard for the industry at this point. Like if you're a pizza
Dude,
place that just sells pizza, you're just like you're average. But if you're like a pizza place that sells other stuff that's like I guess you could say Italian themed in a way, then that's where you can get like a bit more customers.
I like crazy bread, man. I don't like. I can almost never buy a pizza and not pick up crazy bread to go with it because it's just such a good thing, you know, to go with pizza.
Yeah.
Such an iconic thing. But yeah, I liked that we walked, we got a pizza, we brought it home, and you know we enjoyed.
Yeah.
It
I've walked down
was-
to Casey's like so many more times ever since that first trip with you, Brandon. It's just
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it became standard, but it's just it's become like a little routine for me, I would say.
It's become something to do. So like something to fill you. And I mean like, Casey's makes good food, and you know like they have really nice like it's really nice distance from your house. So
Ah, dang it.
it works.
Yeah, it's not too long, not too short. Well, like yeah, I would prefer if it was a bit shorter, but it's not like super long.
Yeah. Like it's you know, it's just a good walking distance to get your daily activity in and whatnot, and no one can be mad at that, you know.
Yeah. Ah, dang it, I did the exact same thing. Swinging in this game's a little weird. Yeah, so, I really enjoyed Little Nightmares 2. I'm still kind of playing it right now, but I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was pretty cool.
It looks like a little fun game to play.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just glad that it wasn't like just a recycle of the first game in terms of mechanics. They actually, brought in mechanics from the DLC for the first game in, but they also brought in entirely new stuff for this game. Like I mentioned, combat. Like there's combat in this game now.
Mhm.
Happens in sparse moments, but I enjoy it. Plus, they actually also incorporated combat into chase scenarios because there's actually moments where you're going to have to like break down a door if you don't want to get caught, and you'll have the monster like getting ever so closer before like you can entirely destroy it and you're able to make your way through.
Mhm.
I honestly thought that I was surprised with how many twists there were at the end of this game. I don't want to spoil anything for you because I know you said that you don't care all that much about spoilers, since this isn't like a franchise you like care about too much. But I don't know. I just think I enjoyed them, and if I can like make sure you enjoy them as well, at least the way that it's supposed to be shown, then I would rather have it that way.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
I get you.
Oh, there we go. Oh, only 2 that time. Okay. I only have 1 more secret to collect, and then I can finally see what the secret ending to this game is. I was so close to looking at it. I just had to think outside the box. I just had to push on that one door, That one door, Brandon, and I would have found the final secret. That's halfway through the level, so I have to go through half the level all over again just to get to that one door. Good thing I can just kind of speedrun to it, since I'm no longer occupying myself by looking at every corner to not miss the secret.
Yeah.
I think after I see what the secret ending to this game is, I'm gonna order that food and then watch a bunch of videos making theories about this game and what a bunch of the smaller stuff means. Because to be honest, I didn't fully understand what the story of the first game was until I saw some theory videos on it. Because I'm pretty sure if I looked at every small detail and I pieced it all together, I could probably come up with something. But I don't know, it's just entertaining seeing other people's brains work when they think about what the smallest of details could mean.
Yeah. Hey, I got a victory royale.
Oh, nice. Oh, hey Brandon, I'm guessing you saw how they added, the Aliens franchise as skins in the game?
I did.
To be honest, I saw the commercial for that, and I just saw, the 3D Alien skin, the models for the game, and I think it had, the tab for the video minimized. Mm-hmm. So I didn't recognize, the Fortnite aesthetic that the ad had, but I honestly thought it was, an entirely new Aliens game. Until, Jonesy appears at the end, and I'm just like, oh, never mind, it's just another Fortnite crossover.
Yeah, it's just Fortnite paying off other people to be like, hey, be in our game. We need to keep this game alive. Hey, be in our game, please. We need recognition. Please.
It's kind of weird how you can actually have, an Alien versus Predator situation in Fortnite now. Out of all things.
Yeah. Hey man, whatever saves their business. Whatever keeps the game alive.
Yeah, but once again, it doesn't really fit into the theme of Bounty Hunter, which honestly makes me think that they're not...
a bounty hunter. I really don't. I think it was a concept, and then they wrote it off, and were like, fuck that. Ain't no...
I honestly think that the Battle Pass has the theme of Bounty Hunter. I don't really know about the rest of the game, though. The item shop specifically.
I'm tempted to see what bullshit they pull out of their ass for the next Battle Pass. That's what I want to know. What are you gonna do? Cause... I think you and me can both agree on it. If they whatever they do now, it's just gonna be pulled out of their ass. Cause they got Street Fighter in there, they got Aliens, they got all this.
They have Street
nonsense.
Fighter?
Yeah, they have Street Fighter, oddly enough. For whatever reason.
Huh.
Like I said, whatever keeps the game alive. Whatever keeps it relevant. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I was surprised you didn't know that Street Fighter was in the game.
Yeah.
Thankfully. Yeah. It's all just iconic Street Fighter stuff, which... You know, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they started moving to D-list games just to have new content.
You know, I'm tempted to make my own game just to see if I could get it in the Fortnite.
You know what? Something tells me you could, Austin. Something tells me you really could. I believe that you could. I personally believe 100% that you made a game, and Epic has seen it, they'd be like, give us rights. We want it in our game. Especially if you started making your own monsters, they'd be like, give us the right. They would take you out behind the bar and then start gut punching you until you handed them the rights.
I'm at the teacher section. Okay.
They're thirsty for it. They want anything and everything now. You think they were thirsty for crossovers before? Nah, they're thirstier than ever. They're more thirsty. They're the most Nersian backed, and they haven't been thirstier in recent years. So it is the weirdest shit. They want it, all of it. I mean, every franchise. Dude, I'm not, like, it wouldn't surprise me now if they just went with, like, they were like, hey, that Five Nights at Freddy's thing is getting popular again. Maybe we,
Funny
maybe
thing
we
is,
catch
Scott
up
has
on that.
actually like I think Scott made a post on Reddit basically saying how he doesn't have any planned crossovers recently, and he even mentioned Fortnite specifically as a crossover, and it's just like, how has the world come to this?
Shit. Shot the Fortnite trend down. How much you want to bet they're still gonna offer it though? Even though he called them out, how much you think they're gonna be like, yeah, but what about for this amount of money?
Dude, a part of me wants to see it because I just want to think of there being a game where you could play as Freddy Fazbear with a rifle and then you could just shoot a bunch of noobs. Like, just the sheer image to that alone tempts me.
Honestly, they'd probably come out with some sort of skin like, hey, dart gun that you could win in a prize counter sort of thing, you know? Like, that'd be a skin for the assault rifle and whatnot. I mean, a little dart gun, like a Nerf gun, basically. I imagine that's what they would do for that. Dude, something tells me they would do the Five Nights at Freddy's thing so fast. Like, they'd probably have like a unique, not necessarily glider, but no, it might be a glider. I don't know. I could see them like doing legit animatronic themed, like, you know. Part of me believes they would. They're 100%. You know, like Epic has become sluts for crossovers. Like, they've gotten slutty. They don't care who it is. Hell, they'd probably do crossovers with, god, what else would they do? Crows.
Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Dude, they'd probably take a crossover with Back at the Barnyard at this point.
Bruh. I can see it, and that's what scares me.
Dude, they would, if Back at the Barnyard of all people came to Fortnite or Epic for like a crossover into Fortnite, they would take Back of the Barnyard behind the barnyard.
Shoot, it happened again. Don't get caught.
Oh my god. And you know, like you said, Austin, you can see it too. Like, they would totally, 100% do that. And it is scary. It's scary that they would go that far, but you know they would. You know they would in a heartbeat. They totally would. You'd be like, what, they actually did? But then you'd have that split-second realization of, no, yeah, they would totally do this. And it'd be like a Back of the Barnyard themed battle pass, and you'd be like, yeah, no, this actually checks out. You'd be like, yeah, no, this makes sense. It's like with SpongeBob, you'd have the initial shock of, they would. And then you'd see it and you'd be like, yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. They would.
It's
like,
just,
see this.
They've gone so heavily into crossovers recently. Like, that's what makes it so much more plausible. Like, if they still had the same type of thing where it's just like they make like more unique skins, and then every once in a while there's a crossover, it wouldn't seem as plausible. But, you know, with the sheer amount of stuff happening, it's just like, come on, man.
Were you joking, by the way?
Man.
Because, like, I could actually see them doing a Back of the Barnyard. Like,
No, I can totally see them doing a Back in the Barnyard. Like, a part of me wants to
serious
believe
about
they
that being
wouldn't.
Scarily true. Because I could see
Yeah,
it
like a part of me doubts it, in all honesty, but it wouldn't be much to just take that remaining bit of hope, Brandon, and throw it out the window.
it's like the logic part of your brain says, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't do that. And then like there's like that there's like that little tug at the back of your brain that you're like, no, they would. They're that crazy. They would do it. You're like, I
Yeah.
have no, like, you're like, I don't want to believe that they would for any logical reasoning. And then your brain, like, your brain remembers all the crossovers that they've done so far. And it's like, I have no reason to believe they wouldn't. Like, I want to believe that they would, but there's no proof to say that they would pass that up. And
Yeah.
there's just, there's nothing there to say that they wouldn't. And dude, it wouldn't surprise me if Fortnite was like, hey, Nintendo, get in on this with the Pokemon action. Because, like, you know they would. You know they would. They would. No
Mario
hesitation.
with the AK.
Dude, 100%. You know it would happen. Like, it only takes enough money.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Nintendo's
I
not
remember
really the
this
most,
thing about Microsoft
not the
wanting
most
to buy
integrity-filled
Nintendo,
company.
And it was like the Nintendo logo over the Spider-Man clip. And it was like Microsoft's logo over Peter Parker. And like it started off with Microsoft and Nintendo. And the dude was just like, wait, you're serious? You serious about this?
Oh, yeah.
No, get the hell out. No, it was like,
J. Joe and the Jameson.
Microsoft, you think you could buy Nintendo? You think you could buy all of Nintendo? No. No. One does not simply buy Nintendo. You don't have enough money to buy Nintendo. No one has that kind of money. Elon Musk doesn't have the money to buy the Nintendo Corporation.
That man shot his car up into space.
Dude, Bill Gates doesn't have enough money to buy Nintendo. There's not enough money there for them to do that. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Dude, there's no way. No one could buy Nintendo. Dude, Nintendo is like...
It's kind of like the deal that Sony offered to Disney. It's just like, you want Spider-Man? You ain't getting him.
Yeah, basically. It's like anything that you could throw at Nintendo, like any figure, they could probably throw back at you and then some, and they would actually be serious. Like, they'd actually be willing to do it just because they could waste the money. Like, there is no way in hell that you are ever gonna buy Nintendo. Nintendo is way too rich for that shit. It's too rich and you don't...
killed myself.
You don't have nearly...
I killed myself in an area where you're not even supposed to die.
That's dedication.
Thank you. I try my best.
Man, if my DS wasn't fucked up, I would play this one DS game I have, and it's all about you learning magic. And like you remember the DS thing, Austin, where you could like write symbols, or like you could do writing with like the stencil or whatever?
I think so. To be honest, I think my favorite thing about my Nintendo DS was the flip note. I didn't use it all that much, but I think that's a really big reason as to why I got into animation, I would say.
Yeah. There was definitely like there's this DS game I have. And like it relies on the whole drawing thing. And you actually like draw runes in the game to like use different magics. And there's different schools you could like use. You can customize your character. It was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'd have to buy a new DS to use it because some of my buttons are like some of the corner buttons are fucked up and don't work right.
Yeah.
But it's a really fun game, and I really enjoyed it for what little portion I could play. It
that sounds nice.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
when I had my DS, I was just going around trying to catch Pokemon. I mean, I don't want to say like I'm the biggest Pokemon fan, because to be honest, I'm not. But like,
Yeah.
I do like me some Pokemon. Like if you say Pokemon, you have my interest. Like you got my ear. Because I do like me some good Pokemon.
Yeah.
I can't resist the stern call of a Pokemon. I can in recent years because Pokemon has not been very good. But like if you mention like
Yeah.
I went out of my way, by the way. Let me just read you off.
Hey, I'm here,
the sets
Brandon.
that
I can get the final secret.
I have Fire Red. I have Leaf Green. I have Emerald, Sapphire, and Ruby.
Oh, Jesus. I...
And Austin, that's not all. Guess what else I have? I have...
Oh, I got an achievement. School kids. Nothing of us remains at the school. Sorry about that, Brandon. It's just, I found the final secret, and every single time you find one of these things, there's you... Ooh, I got another achievement. No more remains. Nothing of us remains anywhere. Bravo. Oh, I was getting rid of the... Okay, I get the achievements now. Yeah, sorry about that, Brandon, but, for these secrets, I'm collecting, like, these, they're just, like, ghosts, like, glitched out ghosts, in a way, called Glitching Remains, and I got the last one, and you can find some of these in their, like, own secluded areas, like, separate rooms from the main course. And, yeah, there's a corpse in here. But not like a corpse of a child, like you would expect. No, like, there's an adult corpse in here. Looks like the school's cafeteria lady was, trapped in the freezer, and, you know, the top half of her body is just kind of stuffed inside the, kind of stuffed in the meat locker. She's got a bunch of meat on top of her.
Yikes.
Well, I guess since I have all the secrets now, Brandon, I unlock the alternate ending to this game.
By the way, I just want to
secrets.
say that I have the Pokemon Special Pikachu Edition, also known as Pokemon Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody that doesn't have it and wants it can eat shit. Because I have Pokemon Yellow. I have not only Pokemon Yellow, but I have Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And I have Fire Red and Leaf Green. I have like probably the oldest you can go. Like these are old school Pokemon. Like you can't even play these on a DS. Does that have a portable thing? It does. Doesn't it? Yeah, it does. You can play them on a DS. But you have to either get a DS or a Game Boy Advanced or a Game Boy. And while I'm not old enough to have a, well, I'm old enough. Well, I'm not like, you know, nostalgic enough to go buy a Game Boy. I do have a Game Boy Advanced, which is the superior Game Boy. That is the name would apply. So I can say with certainty that like I'm playing this on the best possible, like, you know, I got that Game Boy Advance, and it is some of the neatest shit. Like, you want nostalgia, you play some of these games on like on the Game Boy Advance. It's really, they're neat. I love them all. Just the act of Pokemon, the act of like leveling up and training moves. Yeah, it's really, it's good. I like it. Also, these are the older versions where they have the original Lavender Town, Austin. Not the new Lavender Town, like the old creepy Lavender Town with the original Lavender Town theme. Like these are the ones that have like these are the ones that, like, instead of having ghost Pokemon, Austin, they have just normal ghosts. And like you have to get a special item.
Like there's just like ghosts.
Yeah, you have to get a special item so that they become Ghastlies and stuff.
If I remember correctly, I have to knock this down.
Dude, I love the original Lavender Town theme. It's so good.
Yeah. They're like dun 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 dun,
Like it's
dun, dun.
creepy, like it's such a creepy, sad tone, but it fits Lavender Town so well.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to go there. Yeah, here we go.
I love Lavender Town's theme. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It really sets in the creepy, the creepy music. Spook. Dude, Lavender Town's like depressing. It's like if you're born there, you're not allowed to leave. Like you spiritually cannot leave the town. The town refuses to let you leave. Which is kind of sad. Like travel for you. You born in Lavender Town, you stay in Lavender Town.
I have the final boss, Brandon. After I beat this, I'll be able to see what the next ending is.
I'd like to point out that, like people who are born in Lavender Town and die there become goats. Like, it's canonical. So, like, Lavender Town looks depressing. It's full of sad people. It's like, I want death. Death is not a release, so I don't want death. But I also can't leave
Crap.
all the line.
I missed. Dang it. I was doing so well.
That's partially why I like Lavender Town, is because, like, the original, like, you know, every other portion of Pokemon is, like, pretty happy, you know? And, like, yeah, everything's fine. And then you get to Lavender Town, and you're just like, this place sucks, I hate it here. I hate my life. And it's just kind of funny to watch, I don't, I hate it here. And, like, they're all sad, and, like, they're just like, just leave. You don't want to be here too long, or you'll be like us. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're just like, go away. let me die in what little peace I can.
Hey Brandon, I'm excited because I'm at the ending right now, and I already noticed like a small change with this final sequence. Like there's this little bit where you see this kid in like the middle of an empty room, but I just went through the sequence, and the kid wasn't in the middle of the room. So that just intrigues me, because I wonder what other small details are going to get changed.
I don't know, probably cause and effect.
Yeah. At least I think that was a change. I might be wrong, but you never know.
You know, I think I would have and I know this is achievable with like game charts and whatnot, but I think I would have been really stoked to play Pokemon if like you could have started out with like level 1 of any Pokemon, you know? Like level 1 of any like you could have started the game with like you know, like
I'm in the middle of the room.
like a level 1 Meowth, you know? Like you got to choose a Pokemon you started with. Like that'd be cool. I know you can do that with Game Sharks, but Game Sharks also like, you know, they can tear your game up and do really bad things. So it's like use at your own risk. Because they can really mess up games. I would like it if that were a possibility.
Yeah.
Granted, I still like the first generation starters, you know?
Yeah. Bulbasaur, as you were saying earlier.
Charmander and Squirtle.
Squirtle. Did you ever watch that one Game Theory where MatPat actually looks at all the different moves that the 3 starters have and statistically finds out which one is the strongest when pitted against the other 2?
Are you talking about the...
Might not have been MatPat, actually. It might have been... I think it was actually Death Battle, not MatPat.
I was gonna say, are you talking about the one where they put Squirtle up against Charmander?
They have Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur all fight.
I still prefer the Bulbasaur, man. He's the only grass Pokemon that starts off with both grass and poison.
Oh,
and that poison
that was
is
a
going to
perfect
be really,
opportunity.
really helpful later. You're gonna...
I think after they looked at all the math, they found that, like, I think it was, Squirtle's evolution, like, what's Squirtle's evolution again?
Wartortle and Blastoise.
Yeah, I think Blastoise had, like, a 60% chance to win against the other two, if it was a pitted battle, or something along those lines.
I mean, it also, that also comes down to what, like, because, like, if you level a Squirtle up to a Blastoise, and you level a Charmander up to a Charizard, and you level, like, a Squirtle to a, Venusaur, like, if you were to level them all up to their final level, like, level 100, you know, fully evolved and whatnot, it still comes down to, like, sets, because, like, depending on the person that, you know, that raised them, they can have entirely different movesets.
Yeah, I honestly thought that when you got to level 100, that would be it in terms of getting your Pokemon more powerful. I had no idea EVs actually existed.
I watched a thing about Gengar not too long ago, and it was like, Gengar is a really popular Pokemon. How useful was he really, you know? In, like, the games and everything, like, from a statistics standpoint. And I don't remember them placing him super high, but they did say that he was first game, that if you had the option of a Gengar, it wasn't
Ah, dang it.
like, you know,
So he's like a
maybe not
decent
the
Pokemon to
best.
choose?
Yeah, they landed on him being the best, but definitely not the worst. He was, I think it was just a little over decent, you know? Like, you know, if you had you wouldn't be really
I was really
disadvantaged
close
for
there.
probably choosing him. I think one of the things they really liked about Gengar is that, you know, Ghost type, so it's not really affected by normal type moves. And, you know, normal type moves are like a lot of moves. Pretty much any Pokemon can have normal type moves, but, you know, doesn't really matter if,
Use a ghost.
yeah, like, all those normal moves, you know, like Weird, Scratch, all those normal type moves,
Finally.
matter. Like, if you went up to Gengar with a Pokemon that only knew normal type moves, then it's likely that you just wouldn't be able to do anything other than sit there and die. Like,
Okay, hey Brandon, I think I'm finally at the end. I want to see if I get anything particular. I think I have to get to, like, the very end. That's something I have to do. Can I call? Well, pal. Sup, 6? You still gonna betray me? Betray me like you always do.
Yeah, I might actually
This section.
party here to get something to eat. I'm pretty hungry.
You know what, that's kind of fitting, because I'm actually at the end, and yeah, I think I want to devote my attention to the ending.
Alright, well, you have fun then.
Yeah, you have fun getting food. Hope you enjoy it. Ah, dang it, I fell. Alright. Nice talking to you, bud. me left. Well guys, I guess that just leaves you and me for the ending. Quite fitting actually. Well, I already put all this work in. Time to see what the rewards are yielded. Okay, I think that was the section that got me the most. Ooh. Yeah, boy. Go, 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 go. Yeah. 6. 6. Wait for me, bud. Wait for me, 6. 6. 6. Thanks, bud. You gonna help me up? 6. 6, don't. 6. Oh, I'm excited. I think this ending bit, like, at the end last time, where Amano had to, like, sit in that chair, and then it's revealed who he really is. I think this is the bit that's actually going to be changed from us collecting all the remains. Hmm. I suppose that helps to put Little Nightmares 2 within the timeline for where this really... Yeah, so this really is a prequel. That was pretty evident for a bit. But that does kind of explain a couple of things, like Dark 6 in the first game. Was 6 cursed? Is that what happened? Hmm. I definitely hope they have to make a Little Nightmares 3. It's a sequel, instead of it being another prequel. Because I think it'd be really interesting, because I don't think Adult Mono is actually dead. He might be. It might be an everlasting loop, but I feel like he could still be out there. So I feel like an Adult Mono facing off against a powered-up 6 after she killed her mother. I don't know, I just think that'd be a very interesting confrontation to witness. Alright, so I guess that was Little Nightmares 2. The secret ending and everything. That was, I can't skip this cutscene. It's not really good, it's just... Oh, I can speed through it. And I can slow it down. I'm gonna speed... How fast can you go through this? I think this is as fast as you can go. Yeah, so all that work for that extra little tidbit of content. But you know what? That was content that I earned, so... I'm proud. I feel happy, because usually I would just watch somebody unlock that and then like get to see what happened, but you know, I mostly earned that, because I did look up a guide, but definitely feel like if I didn't look up where some of those secrets were, it would just become tedious, and I don't want to like make it, I don't want to like have a tedious feeling come over me in order, because it just feels like it'd be like trading some enjoyment for more enjoyment for later. I don't know, I want to go through this game as fun as possible, like the most fun way to get there. So if that includes me legitimately getting some of them, and then having to look up where others are, I don't mind that. You know what? I think I got most of the glitched remains by myself. Only had to look up where like 4 of them were, maybe a bit more. So I got like about 2/3 of the total amount of glitched remains. Some by accident, some on purpose. I mean, like 2 of them in my original playthrough are really obvious. Voice crack were really obvious, which is how I got them. But yeah. I guess that concludes my final playthrough of Little Nightmares 2. I might play some more, but I don't think I'm going to stream it. I mean, maybe I can go for the hats if I know where all the locations are, but I don't really care about the hats all that much. I just wanted to see that extra little bit of content. And you know what? I'm glad that I did. That was cool. Unless they thought the entire ending was going to change, instead of there just being like an extra little cutscene, like a very small one, at the very, very end. But you know what? I don't mind. That was cool. Well, alrighty then. I guess that will conclude my stream for tonight. I don't really know what my next stream is going to be about. Might want to continue Star Wars, finish that game up, so I'll be a bit more free, but... kind of thinking of branching out, doing Star Wars along with some other stuff as well. Okay, well, I'm gonna end the stream now. It was, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright. Talk to you guys. Just realized that cut out slightly. Talk to you guys another time then. And how? No, I've been streaming for almost exactly 2 hours. Nice.